Wisconsin?
Yeah, I think Iowa's done a really good job and of running the football, and they marry up their play action passes really well with their run scheme. Just like Wisconsin, I think they're an ascending group on offense. Obviously, it's gonna we got to tackle better. That's no secret. I thought probably last game we did not tackle well as a group. I thought we attacked some run fits probably a little too fast, and that's on me. I had those guys wired up to really go hit those run fits and try to make that thing real small. As everybody watched the football game, some of those runs got bounced around a little bit in the backfield and popped loose on us, which was very unfortunate. But I think some of that's definitely on me, not on the kids. But when we're playing a game like this, obviously the guys up front got to do a really good job. They got to take this game over for us, and then I think as a group we got to tackle the ball carrier better. We got to leverage the ball better, and we got to do a better job of getting the guy on the ground.
I know you don't like to make excuses, but how much did it impact you not really having Damian much, not having Williams, not having JoJo?
Yeah, I mean, I think it impacts you. I mean, it's those are really good football players and guys that have been leaders on the team. Changes things a little bit, and then Caleb goes down early in the game as well. But that's football, and the next guy's got to play, and those next guys are going to play next year. And it wasn't like we need to call timeout when we didn't have those guys because we didn't know what to do. Those guys were ready to play football. They just got to keep getting better and better, and the rest of the group's got to cover up for a little bit of those guys. When you get a new guy in there, it doesn't matter who it is or how much experience they have. When you get a new guy in there, it takes a while to get acclimated. Your eyes are big, especially against playing a team like Wisconsin. But it's football. Everybody's got guys that are injured. We're no different. Iowa's no different. Wisconsin's no different. Everybody's got guys that are banged up and guys that are injured. So we got to do what we got to do to win football games and continue to play good defense with or without guys that are in the lineup. And I hope we can get them all back. But the next guys up got to take a stand, and the next guys up got to be ready to roll.
How was the tackling compared to maybe like the rest of the season? How much of an issue was it on Saturday?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I thought throughout the year we've tackled pretty well. We've done a really good job leveraging the football. There hasn't been a lot of misses out there, and the ones that have got missed have been missed the correct way, and that's a funny thing to say, but when you miss on the right leverage and you bounce around a little bit, the rest of the posse can hunt. But that game where they're getting in 22 personnel or bringing an extra tackle in, and that box is so packed. Those tackles are critical because there's a massive humanity in the A gap, and when that thing gets bounced around and somebody misses, there's nobody left to make that tackle. So I don't think it was like, oh my gosh, we weren't tackling anybody, but a couple of those ones that got missed just became intensely magnified because of the kind of game we were in.
What's sort of your summary of Blaise Gunnarson's just progression? I know there's been injuries early on, but how he's come on.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, probably, oh man, I mean, he was injured coming in, from high school. We had to get him some things repaired and all those types of things. He's made some steady progress, and to be honest with you, really after the first bye week, we kind of thought, man, this guy's really playing well. And maybe that was because during that bye week you had an opportunity to get some of the older guys a little rest, and you had some good periods with some younger guys playing. But we got a chance to see him against some of the first-string offense, some of those good tackles and one-on-ones and some of those good periods. So I think that first bye week was we were kind of like, man, this guy's really coming along, him and both him and Jamari. And so it wasn't necessarily a great thing that he had to go in the game because Caleb got injured, but really good to see him respond. Did he make some errors? Absolutely. Did he play really good Big Ten football? He sure did against a really good football team. So that was very positive to see.
I guess I'd kind of ask a similar question about Nash since he's a central part of it now. Where's he at in your mind?
Yeah, I think Nash is probably a little different than Blaise. I think Nash we kind of saw a little bit earlier that he was coming along really well, and he's got some very meaningful reps against Cam Jurgens, which is always a good barometer to see where those guys are at. But he just had Damian Daniels has played such good football, and some of those other guys he hasn't had a chance to get in as many games. But Nash is really coming along well too.
How do you think you'll process senior day this Friday, Erik, when there's so many guys that you're not sure if they're coming back, if this is goodbye? What's that going to be like?
Yeah, I don't anticipate many guys will walk on senior day that are going to come back, if that makes sense. There may be a couple guys, and I know they're all talking with Coach Frost, there may be a couple guys that aren't 100% sure, but I think most guys at this juncture are either walking and leaving or not walking and coming back, but there's always a couple out there. I think every senior day is mixed emotions, really cool for me to see them and their parents, and very emotional day, very sad to see them go. Probably for a lot of these guys, I wish we had them back another year, but they're going to start on the next leg of their life, whether that be Sunday football or the professional journey. But a very mixed emotions on senior day always, and it's been a special group to me just because this group was kind of some of the ones that started, even though we had some seniors, and I remember a lot of those guys, the Mick Stoltenbergs and the Davis brothers and Giff and all those guys. But this group has kind of grown up in the system a little bit, and it's going to be sad to see these guys go. They've done a lot for this program, and they've really played well this year.
Garrett Nelson was really complimentary on Saturday of Caleb Tanner and the growth that he's had over the past year. What does that look like to you maybe over the last 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with Garrett. I don't know if it's so much growth in between the white lines. I think it's growth outside the lines. Caleb has become, this year, in my opinion, he has become a really good teammate. He's starting to develop leadership traits. He's taking care of business in the classroom. He's taking care of business off the field. He's just really fun to be around right now. And so I think that Garrett's right. I think there probably has been, there's growth with everybody in between the lines every single year, and Caleb's no different. But that growth outside the white lines for me, for Caleb, has been the fun part to watch.
Iowa's got a lineman, Linderbaum, at center. You've seen a lot of good ones at Iowa in your life. I mean, how does he stack up, and what does he really do for their offensive line?
Yeah, I think he's an exceptional football player. He's very athletic. Is the kind of the first thing you notice about him. I think, to be honest with you, we'll see the look we get from Cam Jurgens is very, very accurate, because I find both those guys to be similar in size, and also they're both very, very athletic centers. So I think that look that Cam gives us all year when we do good on good periods is going to be carry over, really well for playing Iowa. But I think that kid's, he's very smart. He makes all the calls. He makes all the checks. Very athletic. Finishes plays. He just looks like a Big Ten offensive lineman, just on the upper side of the athleticism.
Is this your traditional Iowa offense that you've seen so far out of him this year, Coach?
Yeah, I think they're always going to get good at a few run plays. Those run plays might not be the same year to year. I think they kind of tailor that to the personnel they got, whether they have tight ends or fullbacks and what kind of back they have and those types of things. But, that's going to be based off that zone run game, and it's going to stretch you out, and the running backs are going to be really good at cutting that thing back, and they're going to try to, formation and shift and give you a different look at their packages. The thing that we've noticed as of late is they've added some gap schemes into the equation, some counter and some power, some pin and pull. But, this is who they are. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to try to run it right at you, and then they're going to complement you with the play-action passes that marry up to the run plays. And then they also have the ability, with some of their receivers to take a shot downfield. They're very good, double moves, max proing that thing up and trying to let one rip and see if your DBs are getting too nosy in the run fit. So I think they have a very nice pieces all around to build off that run game that they've developed.
Does it change much based on who they have in at quarterback?
You know what? To be honest with you, it doesn't seem like it changes up much. I think both their quarterbacks have their own different tendencies, but I think that the offense is going to stay pretty stable. So I don't think it matters who's in there.
What does this rivalry mean to you? Because obviously your history, and then what would a win mean to the program?
This rivalry. I think it means everything. I know our guys want to win. They want to win a game in the last stretch here, but they want to win this one. This game's got a trophy involved. Anytime there's a trophy involved, it's a special football game. Obviously, for me growing up in that state, there's a lot of people that I know they're going to be cheering for Iowa. which is, obviously adds a little fuel to the fire. There's going to be a lot of people I know in that state that are going to be cheering for Nebraska, and I know that they're wearing black shirts gear to the game and or to the bar or wherever they're watching the game, and they're going to take a lot of heat. And I know they're doing that for me and for the Huskers, so that means a lot. But this football game, this is one that I think is kind of earmarked on everyone's calendar all year, just because this is the battle for the border right here, and we have to start winning some of these games before you can take the next step in the program's rise, if you will. And I think these games are big in recruiting. These games are big for the team, and this, a win in this kind of game can set you up for where you want to go next year. It can set you up a little bit as we go off recruiting. So I think this game is super important, not only about the rivalry, but also just the aftermath that a win could mean to the program.
Anything else for Coach?